So if you are a beginner photographer or a content creator, do not skip this video. The Canon M50 is one of the best beginner cameras for photographers and content creators. So in this video, I'm going to explain if you should cop, drop, upgrade when it comes to your camera, and just to see if this camera is the best fit for you. So when it comes to this camera, I'm going to go over the pros and the cons. So we'll start with the pros and we'll go from there. So since this is just a beginner camera, it is very, very easy to use. You really don't need to know, ISO, shutter speed, or aperture right off the bat when it comes to this camera, because it does have a great interface to where you can actually learn everything right on screen. It does have an LED screen. You are able to touch on this screen to where you can kind of like mess around with the settings and kind of get to know your camera a little bit, but it's very, very easy to learn. So even if you don't know the basics or the fundamentals of the settings for the camera, you could just learn just by looking and just scrolling around, which is very, very great when it comes to the interface. One thing about this camera is very lightweight. It's compact, so I can literally grip this camera with my hand. That's how small the camera is, and also the lens too. It's very, very small, very, very compact, very light. Now, if you are a streamer and you definitely want to stream, this would definitely be a great camera for you because, like I said, based off of the advantage of it being compact and lightweight, when it comes to, placing your camera in certain angles or certain, areas in your room when you are streaming, or if you're doing any type of podcasting or whatever it may be, even though it's very small, it's still powerful to where it's not in a way you can put extra accessories in your area, and it won't really block the camera or anything like that. Plus, like I said, with it you having the actual kit lens attached to it, it's very, very perfect. It's a 15 to 45, so you can go very wide and you can also go in tight, and you can still get great shots when it comes to the focal length of the camera. And one thing when it comes to the video aspect of it, it has great autofocus. For photo and video, I'm sorry, it has great autofocus, so it's able to track faces very well. Is very good when it comes to movement. So if you're trying to get that great autofocus when it comes to taking your pictures or taking your videos, it will definitely stay on track, and it won't blur out or anything like that. So it's very great when it comes to the autofocus. I'll say the last pro when it comes to this camera would definitely be the color science of it. I was able to get great color imagery, when it comes to my post editing, and I didn't really have to do a lot of edits. That's just based off of me working with the settings on the camera, but just being able to see the coloring and for it to match perfectly, especially for a camera that's almost 10 years old, this actually does it. So even when you go on to like the R series, or even if you want to go to the V series, if you're video centric, the color science on these cameras are very, very good. So the first con that I will go over with this camera is the cropping at 4K. Because it is a crop sensor camera, you do get a 1.5 times crop when it comes to going 4K. That's just the way that it's built, the way that it's set up. As soon as you hit 4K onto your camera, whether if you're taking video, you are going to get a slight crop. Well, not slight, it's a significant crop. So if you are going, let's just say 50 millimeters, that one times 1.5 times 50, that's going to be your focal length when you are recording. So it's going to be super zoomed in. And if you don't really like that type of style and you kind of want to still have that wide angle shot, in 4K, this wouldn't be ideal for you. And even though it is 7 years old, at least at the timing of this video, this camera does have its limitations when it comes to lenses, especially when it comes to the M series. You do have your limitations when it does come to the M series lenses, unless you were to go to like a marketplace, or if you were to go to like eBay to get it for cheap. So to my last point, when it comes to the cons, like I said, when it comes to this camera, it is an older camera. It's about 7 years old. Even though with it being a 7-year-old camera, it is still a great camera. But because of how old it is, it's starting to show its limitations when it comes to work, especially since Canon has dropped a lot of cameras within the last 7 years. Then on top of that, there's a lot of advanced cameras out there, or advanced beginner cameras that you can still learn and still be up to date, opposed to having an older model and having to essentially catch up. Since they are dropping newer cameras that are way more advanced than the M50, even though they're crop censored, you know, it's just at some point in time you can still use the camera, but you know, once you do kind of understand the basics of using your camera and understanding photography, it's best to upgrade when you can. Now again, this is only a beginner's camera, so I'm not saying that even for the beginners, you know, I'm not discouraging you for not picking this up. Go ahead and pick it up, because if you want to learn the basics of your photography game and you kind of just want to have a basic one-on-one learning curve, and try to, you know, learn your camera the best way, this will be the beginner camera to do so. If you don't want to use your camera, or you don't want to get a Canon M50, use your phone. You know, you can still get great photos, you can still get great videos when it comes to using your phone, you know. So it all works the same way, even though the interface may be different. If you know how to toggle and actually work with your phone when it comes to your camera, you can do the same thing on a professional camera. But listen, that is the end of this video. If you are a beginner photographer or content creator and you actually have the M50, let me know in the comments, what do you think so far about the Canon M50? Do you like it? Do you kind of understand any of the drawbacks that I mentioned in this video? And if you plan on getting the M50, based on everything that I was able to explain to you, do you want a cop drop? Do you feel like you should just wait, use your phone? What are your thoughts? If you found this video very helpful, just give me a like, subscribe to the channel. Pretty much I'm going to go over a lot of tech reviews. I'm going over a lot of content creating tips, going over a lot of photography tips, and I'm giving you a lot of inspiration and education when it comes to your photography journey. So if that is you, please subscribe. We're trying to build a community here. And also, you know, check out some other videos on the channel. It's going to pretty much pertain to anything photography or content creating based. So I'll catch you guys later.